This is Radio Nepal. I'm Kaushal Khimire with the news, the headlines first. Patan High Court orders release of former Home Minister Balkrishna Khan on bail of 3 million rupees. Suspended Member of Parliament Lakshmi Mahato Koiri gets clean sheet for a murder case. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda warns of removing underperforming ministers from the post. And European Union leaders decide to open membership talks with Ukraine and Moldova. Now the news in detail. Patan High Court yesterday ordered the release of former Home Minister Balkrishna Khan on bail of 3 million rupees. A single bench of Judge Krishna Ram Koirala ordered the release of former Home Minister Khan on bail. Earlier on December 1st, a bench of judges Janak Pandey and Prakash Kharel were divided on whether to give continuity to his judicial custody or release him on bail. The case was then forwarded to the bench of a third judge to decide. Earlier, Patan High Court on the 1st of December ordered former Home Minister Khan and former Minister Top Badurai Maji to remain in custody for fake Putni's refugee scam. Meanwhile, the Mahottari District Court has given a clean sheet to Lakshmi Mahato Koiri, the Member of Parliament elected from Mahottari Constituency Number 1 on a charge of murder of Assistant Sub-Inspector of Armed Police Force, Nepal, Thaman Bika. A single bench of Judge Uttar Prasad Bhattrai gave a clean sheet to MP Koiri yesterday. However, Abhiram Sharma, the Province Assembly member elected from Mahottari Constituency Number 3A, has got lifetime imprisonment in the same case. Of 28 defendants, MP Koiri and Pawan Thakur got clean sheet, while 7 individuals, including Province Assembly member Sharma, got life imprisonment. Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal Prachanda has warned of removing the underperforming ministers from the post. During a quarterly review meeting on government programs and budget held at his office yesterday, Prime Minister Dahal expressed dissatisfaction over some ministries for their failure to achieve targets. On the occasion, he directed the ministers and secretaries to ensure effective results and public service in line with government policies and programs. The government has decided to approve an action plan of energy supply increment and fossil fuel mitigation 2080. Government spokesperson and Communication Minister Rekha Sharma said the cabinet meeting held yesterday made the decision to that end. The cabinet also promoted Senior Joint Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Sewa Lamsal, to the post of Secretary. With this, she has become the first ever woman in the Foreign Service to take the responsibility of the post. Nepal recorded the remittance inflow worth 477.96 billion rupees in a period of 4 months. According to the Nepal Rashtra Bank report on current macroeconomic and social situation of Nepal, based on the data ending on mid-November, remittance inflows increased by 26.4%. There was an increase of 20.4% in the remittances inflow in the corresponding period of the previous year. Similarly, country's balance of payments has remained at surplus of 147.11 billion rupees. The District Administration Office Kanchanpur imposed a prohibitory order in Mahendranagar Bazar for 7 days starting yesterday. The District Administration Office Kanchanpur issued the order since yesterday morning following a dispute over reinstatement of a statue of King Mahendra at Mahendra Smarak. The district administration has prohibited the gathering of more and organizing protest rallies and demonstrations. Minister for Foreign Affairs Naren Prakash Saud joined the high-level roundtable themed The Future of Human Rights, Environment and Climate as a part of Leaders segment in Geneva of Switzerland. The panel was moderated by Prime Minister of Iceland and composed of high-level dignitaries and climate activists. According to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Minister South met with United Nations High Commissioner for Human Rights on the peace process. The High Commissioner expressed his positive views on Nepal's peace process. He also shared his willingness to visit Lumbini, the birthplace of Lord Gautam Buddha. Ambassadors to Nepal from Sri Lanka amidst separate ceremonies held at the President's office in Chital Niwas yesterday. Office of the President shared that Sri Lanka's residential ambassador to Nepal, Sudarshana K. Pathirana, and non-residential ambassadors of Panama and Belgium presented their letters of credence to President Paudel for the need of formulating business-friendly acts, laws, and policy craft industry. Inaugurating the 20th Handicraft Trade Fair and 18th Handicraft Competition organized in Kathmandu yesterday, President Paudel said can be enhanced internationally through the promotion of handicraft industry and business. The head of state pointed out the need of creating an environment encouraging all the government entities for using the goods produced within the country, made economically viable through the utilization of local indigenous identity, culture, and opportunity. In his address to the first Nuwakot Sports and Grand Cultural Festival 2080, which began yesterday at Tikure Bajar in Liku Rural Municipality, Nuwakot, Minister Mahat said the country's economy could be strengthened through utilization of natural resources and local resources. All Trade Union Congress in Lalitpur yesterday. Finance Minister indicators of the countries were improving. Finance Minister Mahat mentioned that arrivals in financial institutions were decreasing and remittance was on the rise. Minister was going to organize an investment summit in coming April-May to bring in investment. Bank ADB has approved a $166 million financing package to boost building climate and disaster resilient cities from the Asian Development Fund. According to the ADB, the Urban Improvement Project aims to contribute to the economic growth, resilience, and... You're listening to Radio Nepal's 8 a.m. English News Bulletin. Now on to an international update. European Union leaders have decided to open membership talks with Ukraine and Moldova to grant candidate status to Georgia. Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky hailed the decision made at a summit in Brussels as a victory for his country and Europe. A spokesperson for the President of the European Council said the agreement was unanimous. Hungary has long opposed talks starting with Kiev, but did not veto the move. Prime Minister Viktor Orban left the room momentarily in what the officials described as a pre-agreed and constructive manner, while the other 26 leaders went ahead with the vote. Now, the general weather forecast for the country for today, according to the Meteorological Forecasting Division. The weather will be partly cloudy in the hilly areas of Kosi Province and partly cloudy to mainly fair in the rest of the country. With this, we have almost come to the end of this news bulletin, but before wrapping up, let's have a reminder of the headlines once again. Patan High Court orders release of former Home Minister Balkrishna Khad on bail of 3 million rupees. Suspended Member of Parliament Lakshmi Mahato Query gets clean chit for a murder case. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal Prachanda warns of removing underperforming ministers from the post. And European Union leaders decide to open membership talks with Ukraine and Moldova. Well, that's all the news we have for this bulletin. Our next bulletin in English will be at 2 in the afternoon. You can also listen to us online at our website, www.onlineradionepal.gov.np. Keep listening to Radio Nepal and have a good day.